Hey fellow YouTubers, JJ the Trucker coming to you from just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. And you can probably tell from the bumpy ride that I am on an interstate that begins with the number 7. That's a general rule of thumb for the east-west traveling ones. If the interstate starts with the 7, man, it's going to be a bumpy ride. These interstates are poorly maintained from start to finish. We're talking the 70, the 72, the 74, the 76, and the 78. All of them terrible. I don't like traveling on them, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? So, first of all, I know. I promised you guys a live video today. But Happy New Year's, first of all. Yes, Happy New Year's. How can I forget that? It's New Year's Day. Happy New Year's to all of you guys. Hopefully you guys had a better New Year's than I did. Man, it has been a challenging few days for me, and I thought I was going to have plenty of time to be able to kick back and relax and do a live video right about now, but nope, absolutely not. Let me tell you about my week. So, last I left you, we were heading on up to Salt Lake because that shipper, took 11 hours to get to me. So we weren't going to be dropping the load off in Corin, Utah, which is north of Salt Lake, because we had to reschedule that appointment. And they were rescheduling it like 2 or 3 days out. So the fleet manager said, go ahead and drop the load off in Salt Lake City at the terminal, and we'll pick up another load from there. The catch is, if you're dropping off a load that, has less than 100 miles left on it, like this one did, then you got to take a local load in exchange. It's kind of the payment for it. All right, sorry for that bleep. I forgot to turn my CB off. And now you know I don't watch or don't listen to the CB very often, or why I might have it off. People are rude and ignorant. Anyways, so as I was saying, the payment for dropping off a local load like that is you got to take a local load out, which is a load less than 100 miles. Prime pays you the rest of the revenue on it, which is usually at that point pretty low, but they also pay you an extra $75. Problem is, they also charge that to you if you drop off the load early. So I did get charged to drop off that load, and I got that money back to pick up a load. It kind of evened out, worked itself out, and I was able to get another load faster, a second load faster. So, all right, whatever. It was a little bit of an inconvenience. It wasn't as good as if that shipper had just loaded me on time and I could have gotten to the Walmart on time, but it was better than hanging around for an extra 2 to 3 days. So anyways, so the next load after that, this is where it gets really fun. They said, all right, we're going to send you on up to Idaho, pick up a load of potatoes. Those potatoes are going to head all the way to Philadelphia, and this load was paying good. I'm like, all right, I had plenty of time on it. I mean, this was like, where has this load been all my life? I'm telling you. I was so relieved and so happy to get this load. Of course, it was too good to be true. I'm on my way up to Idaho, and I get messages. Please stand by. Shipping information has changed. So they changed the load on me. Different shipper, same receiver. Still potatoes, just picking them up from a different farm. A farm a little bit further away. But the revenue increased by like $900. I'm like, okay, I can do that, no big deal. Everything's good there. So I'm on my way up to that one. Later on, I get another message from my fleet manager. It says, sorry, we're playing musical chairs with the shippers. Stand by for another update. Get another shipper. So now we're on the third shipper, potato shipper, still going up to Philadelphia, same exact receiver. And that $900 went away, back down to the original amount. All right, it's a bummer, but it's still now that same good paying load. And the shipper was a little bit closer. So, all right. It was nearby where the original shipper was. So I was like, all right, got my hopes up there, but at least we're still good. So I'm on my way out here, doing everything I can to beat this ice storm that just came up through the Midwest. And another message comes through. Please stand by. Your information, your dispatch information has changed. Now what? Now the receiver has changed. It's like, are you kidding me? So the shipper, 3 different shippers, now 2 different receivers. Nobody can figure out what's going on apparently. But now I'm going to New Jersey. New Jersey. I don't know if that's any better, any worse than Philadelphia, I guess, I suppose, but still, it's New Jersey. So, yep, that's where I'm on my way to, and I didn't beat the ice storm. Almost was able to get it, but I had it timed, everything was working well, but the storm moved a little bit faster, and just wasn't able to beat it. So this morning, I ended up, waking up, and the ice storm, I woke up real early too, and the ice was already dropping from the sky, and it was bad. All the highways were clogged up and everything. So, yep. Oh well. So I sat that out. It was only a few hours. Got started about 10:30. I was able to get back on the road, and here we are. I'm back on the road, on my way to New Jersey. But more complications. My S-bar heater went out. Yes, the bunk heater. The S-bar is basically a diesel heater. What it does is it, in order to not idle the truck and to get good heating, in conjunction with the APU, the auxiliary power unit, or the generator, what happens is this S-bar actually takes diesel from the diesel tanks, feeds it into this little tiny container, and burns it. Literally just burns it right there. It has its own exhaust and everything. It burns it, heats it, and it gets freaking hot too. I mean, this heats it up quickly, efficiently. It's fantastic. And yesterday morning, after I got up, fortunately, it stopped working. I figured, it probably just needs to be reset. I was in like -5-degree weather. I'm sure it was just running all night. It just needs a break. It wasn't overheating or anything. I did check that. Checked the fuse, did all the troubleshooting on it, and I'm like, it probably just needs a rest. We'll see what happens tonight. So at night, last night, try it again. It's still not working. I get on the phone with Road Assist, try the troubleshooting, and nothing's working. Resetting it, doing anything and everything. It's probably a bad burner coil. I think that's what they said. And the only ones that can fix that is Thermo King. All right, so let's go into a Thermo King. Oh yeah, that's right. It's New Year's Day. And Thermo King's not open on Saturdays and Sundays, so they won't be open until Monday. Last night I was able to idle the truck. We can idle our trucks here at Prime as long as it is 29 degrees or less. Now, I'll be honest with you, me, normally a Prime cheerleader, I'm really miffed about that rule right there. 29 degrees. As if 30 degrees is fine. That's warm enough. You're fine at 30 degrees. In a truck that's really not insulated, it gets cold in here fast. Last night when I was on the phone with Road Assist, it was exactly 29 degrees, thank goodness. So, idled the truck, but it started warming up weirdly as the ice storm was hitting. It warmed up to 30 degrees and the truck shut off. Yeah, so that was not good. Didn't get a lot of sleep. Had to keep getting up every 4.5 minutes to press the gas or the brake pedal to keep this thing from shutting off. It was bad. I finally I cranked the heat all the way to max. Was getting it to like 85 degrees in here, and then I'd shut it off for a while, or I'd let it shut off for a while, and about 30 minutes later, it was already really cold again. So wash, rinse, and repeat. But every 30 minutes was better than every 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So yeah. Now, so here's another thing, something that you guys will want to be aware of if you are selecting a truck. The Freightliners have it to where as long as Prime gets permission or approval from your daytime fleet manager and the road assist manager, they will go ahead and remotely send a code to the Freightliner to override the idle. Now, I knew about that. I assumed that was on all trucks. Bad assumption. Peterbilts do not have that feature. I'm not sure about the Internationals and Volvos, but Peterbilts do not. The only way Peterbilts can be overridden is by going to a Peterbilt dealership. All right, fine. Let's go to a Peterbilt dealership. Oh yeah, it's New Year's Day. And guess who's not open on the weekends for repairs? The Peterbilt dealerships. So yeah, not good. Fortunately, Prime is going to pay for a hotel for me tonight and tomorrow night at least, until we can get the issue resolved. So that's nice of them. I'm getting hotel rooms, but that's not exactly convenient because of the delay. Also, because of the storm, I'm now pressed on time because this delivery is due Sunday morning at 0400. Yes, 4 a.m. So I am pressed on time, barely going to get there, just a couple hours. I will have a couple hours to spare, but I've got to use those couple of hours to get the hotel, get checked in, get as settled in as I need to be, which won't be much, get some sleep, and get checked out, get back to my truck, and all that stuff. The place I'm checking into tonight is right next door to a truck stop. So it's like right next door, no problem at all. That's easy, convenient. But Jersey, that's a different story. I'm gonna have to basically park the truck at the receiver. Fortunately, they've got overnight parking, but I'll park it there. Then I have to get an Uber or a Lyft over to the hotel room, which isn't too far away, but it'll be far enough. I'm not gonna lug a bag all the way over there, but I've got an Uber Lyft, take the time to do that, get checked in, get settled in, sleep, get checked out, Uber back to the truck to get checked in by 4 a.m. So that part's gonna suck. This is the life of trucking. So it's not all glamorous like I display it all the time. It has its downsides. Fortunately it was, barely tolerable, but at least it was okay. My concern is this. Sometimes the roads in Wyoming shut down and you are stuck on the side of the road in a snowstorm where it is really cold and windy. What if that was the situation? What if my SPAR heater had gone out during that? Now what? I can't get to a hotel. They can't do an override. Yeah, now what? So I'm going to talk to Prime about that and find out what they do in those situations. Not like, I can call an Uber or Lyft out of there. If I'm stuck and the highway shut down, you ain't going nowhere. So that is what's going on with me. That's how my week has been. Man. So let's see what else is going on. So I mentioned last week on my statement, my settlement, I was in the negative because I took the week off. That was expected. Usually when that happens, the following week, you make up for it. So you end up with 2 weeks, if you're taking a full week off, you end up with 2 weeks at pretty much zero revenue or a small amount of revenue for the 2 weeks combined. Last week was not a good week though, as we already know. So revenue was really, really low. So I got zero again, and I'm still in the negative by about a week's worth. But it's okay. Again, this is one of the reasons why you've got to look long-term and be able to have, money set aside if you're going to be a lease op. Here's why. That load that started all this, not the 11-hour wait load, not that one. The other one, the one before that, the one going from Springfield to Modesto, where they said, sorry, we don't have any appointments open until January 5th. That one right there. That load, I dropped it off. If you remember, I dropped that off in the Fontana, California yard. and it's still sitting there. It'll be sitting there until the 4th. Somebody will pick it up on the 4th and drive it all the way up to, or maybe on the 3rd, and they'll drive it all the way up to Modesto. Loads do not pay until they're delivered. It makes sense. I mean, you got to think about it, but it makes sense. You know, it's not delivered yet, so it's not getting, you know, there's no pay behind it yet. So I have to wait until that load gets delivered before I get paid for it. That was a big load. That was the first load of the week. It was a big paying load. It was a multi-day load. Bumpy. Hold on. I swear, when I'm on any highway on the, you know, starts with 7, it almost feels like I'm in my Freightliner again on Highway 80 or something. I tell you. But you should, man, a Freightliner on these highways. Oh man, you just schedule your chiropractor appointment right then and there. Anyways, back to where I was at. So because that load is, you know, took up half the week and all that stuff, and I didn't get paid for it last week, that's why my revenue was so low and why I'm still in the negative. But there's a few positives on that. One is it will show up on next week's pay. Okay, so that's good. And that's an extra bonus on top of all the stuff that I'm doing this week. Plus, this is what Prime does. I talked to my fleet manager, and this is awesome. Okay, so we already know Prime this year offered a $600 bonus to any driver who is available for dispatch between December 23rd and January 3rd, okay, the holidays. This is on top of a $140 Christmas bonus that they give to everybody that we already got, which was really nice, so thank you very much. So a $600 bonus, I'll take that, thank you very much. But it's slower during the holidays. Problems happen during the holidays. Overall, I calculated, you know, I had about 3 days worth of downtime due to various issues. You know, people calling out sick, places closing, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it usually is slower, and you're going to earn less revenue because of it. Now, you're like, well, that's the good part. No, that's not the good part. The $600 bonus is not designed to make up for what you're losing out on. Okay, Prime knows this, they realize this, and what my fleet manager says is, here's what we do. We take those 12 days of Christmas, that's what I'm calling it, the 12 days of Christmas from the 23rd through the 3rd. We figure you should at least be earning $550 worth of revenue per day. Okay, now that's after the 72% part. That's actual revenue after Prime's cut, if you will. All right, that totals out $6,600 for those 12 days. If you're under that, Prime will make up the difference. That's awesome. Now, my loads have actually been paying pretty well. They've been complicated and they've been problematic and all that stuff. And this load is paying really well, and it delivers on the 3rd, so it'll count towards that $6,600. So I would not qualify for that bonus, or for it's not even a bonus. I wouldn't qualify for that adjustment because I would be over $6,600. However, because I haven't gotten paid yet for that delivery that's not going to happen until the 5th, they may not factor that in. And if they don't factor that in, then I'm just under $6,000, so I may get another $600 adjustment. So let's see, getting a $600 adjustment, maybe, potentially. We'll see how that happens. I won't be disappointed either way. But potentially that $600 adjustment, plus the $600 Christmas bonus, plus Congress gave us another Christmas bonus of $600. Yay. So yeah, 6 and 600. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. We'll just say 600, 600, and 600. That's an extra 1,800 to add on to that. So yeah, that's a whole extra paycheck and then some. So that's then some a little bit. So there we go. That's good. Oh man. All right. I've been rambling. It is about here at 20 minutes. So thank you very much. Oh, and that special announcement. So I do want to do that live. And the special announcement, I'm still not quite ready because of the delays. I'm sorry. We will do it Sunday. All right? Sunday. I promise. It's set in stone, subject to change. I promise it will absolutely, subject to change, happen without a doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts, except if it changes. So Sunday, we will do this special announcement on Sunday. Most likely live, we'll see. I won't promise the live yet, but we will see what's going on because I don't know where I'm going to be on Sunday. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. I appreciate it. Catch you guys on Sunday.